Your Xbox games are about to look way better. It's been a good month for Game Pass, but it's not over yet, and I'll tell you how to watch the new Halo TV show for free. Let's discuss. As we all know, being a Game Pass subscriber is a wonderful thing. You get all the games, and if you're a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, you get a little bit more on top of that. Game Pass Ultimate is a little bit more expensive than the vanilla version of Game Pass, and while the vanilla Game Pass is great, a lot of people out there are enjoying it, it offers a lot, I really feel like Microsoft does a great job of making the Ultimate Game Pass subscription worth it. Obviously, you get all the games included in the base Game Pass subscription, but you also get access to EA Play, and you have all sorts of different perks to sweeten the deal. Right now, you can get a few free months of Spotify Premium, Discord Nitro, you can get Hulu 2 months with no ads. And last video I talked about how you can get 3 months of Marvel Unlimited, which is a digital comic book database. It's a $30 value if you were to try to do it outside of your Game Pass Ultimate subscription. And literally, as I was finishing up filming and editing my last video, they came out with the news that you get yet another free trial for another streaming service, Paramount Plus. Now, Ray, why should I care about Paramount Plus? Well, you might care about Paramount Plus because they are going to be releasing the Halo TV series definitely by the time this video comes out. And while reactions to the Halo TV series have been a mixed bag in terms of the reviews so far, we have the opportunity as Game Pass Ultimate subscribers to check it out for free. Now, I know what a lot of us are thinking right now. Hey, I'll sign up for this 30-day subscription, I'll binge watch all through Halo, and then I'll cancel it. And while that's a good idea in theory, that usually would fly with a lot of these other streaming services, what's happening with Halo is that they're not releasing all of the episodes at once. They're releasing the pilot on March 24th, and then they're releasing 1 episode every week after that. So with this subscription, you are going to be able to watch 5 episodes since they are releasing weekly. There's going to be a total of 9 episodes, but by that point, when you're writing your free subscription, you watch 5 episodes, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be able to make a well-educated decision whether or not you want to re-up your subscription to Paramount Plus in order to finish the Halo TV series. Now, I don't know how well this TV series is gonna play out. It is, I feel like, a little bit hard to adapt video games into television and film. There have been some exceptions. I really liked Arcane, Castlevania is another one of them. The Sonic movie was pretty good, not like a home run, but it was pretty solid. But it is nice that Microsoft is giving us the option to check it out for free before we fully commit to buying yet another streaming service. Nice. I have made it last! Make sure you go on down to the merch shelf in the description or go to stayxboxready.com for your very own Maidenless t-shirt. If you use the code STAYREADY, you get 10% off your purchase. So Xbox is getting a game that was previously exclusive to PlayStation consoles, but it might not be the exclusive that you were hoping for. Godfall is making its way over to Xbox consoles on April 7th, and if you're not familiar with this game, when it was being showcased back in 2020, it was a kind of a game that Sony was showing everyone saying, oh, this is like the power of the next gen. This is a game that really pushes the limits of what these next-gen consoles are capable of graphically. And when it launched, this is a story that we hear all too often, but people were saying that it lacked content, it was buggy. This game is a third-person action melee-based game, and it is billed as a slash and loot game, very similar to what you would find in Borderlands, where it's like you shoot and then you loot people. This is you slash people with a sword and you loot them. This game has had a pretty rough go. When it first launched, the reviews were pretty mid, I would say, and they have added this expansion that is supposed to add a bunch of endgame content, but a lot of people are kind of like, this is sort of mid too. And they've added a feature actually that lets you skip directly to the end game. So what does that say about the rest of your game when the developers give you an option to just skip all over that? It got to the point where PlayStation was offering this as a free title as part of your PlayStation Plus membership. And I feel like it has to go that way for Xbox as well, for anyone to actually want to give this a try. There hasn't been any word on whether or not it's coming to Game Pass or not, but I don't see why they wouldn't include it. I just don't see a lot of people just chomping at the bit to pay a lot of money to play this game. I really feel like if they want to revitalize interest in this game, salvage it in any way, they gotta add it to Game Pass, give it that Game Pass boost that all these developers talk about, like, oh, I added my game to Game Pass, and suddenly my game is trending on Twitter, there's a lot of interest, and it's making a lot of money through like the microtransactions and things like that. But again, there has been no word on whether or not Godfall is making its way over to Game Pass when it launches on April 7th. Hopefully it does, because I really feel like that is going to be the smartest decision for a game that's been having such a tough go at it since it launched. They say the Trial of Grasses takes away Witcher's ability to feel emotion. Kind of like people who watch my channel but don't subscribe. Join me on the path. Subscribe now. So March has turned out to be a pretty strong month for Game Pass, and that was something we desperately needed because February was kind of slow. A lot of people have been telling me on Twitter, on Twitch, hanging out on stream, that they've been playing Guardians of the Galaxy, which came to Game Pass on March 10th. I want to say that Guardians was like probably the highest reviewed game that Square has put out in a very long time. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I've been playing through Young Souls on the cloud. I play it with my Razer Kishi on my iPhone, and I've been really enjoying that. Love the style of it, love the character design. I love the fact that it's sort of like a hybrid between like an animated show and also a comic book. Tunic is another game that I've been really enjoying. It came to Game Pass on March 16th, and it is just delightful. That's all you can really say about it. And they even have a mode where you can toggle invulnerability and stamina drain, to where if you just want to go through and enjoy the great visuals, enjoy the great music, you can totally do that. It's a great option in terms of accessibility, and it's a nice little break if you've been grinding away on the sweatier games like Elden Ring, for example. I have yet to get around to playing this, but I know a lot of people have been excited to play Shredders. That came to Game Pass on March 17th. It's a snowboarding game. Someone reached out to me on Twitter and they said, Ray, you gotta check out Kraken Academy. And I was like, this was not a game that was previously on my radar. And when I looked it up, when I saw it in the Game Pass library, I was like, okay, this looks pretty dope. It's like a magical academy situation. I mean, sort of like Harry Potter, but I feel like it's a lot more stylized than that. So I went and downloaded it. It's in my backlog. Maybe I'll stream it. Maybe I'll talk about it in a future video. I don't know, but I'm looking forward to it. Outside of that, A Memoir Blue is supposed to launch today. It'll definitely be out by the time this video is uploaded. It is a narrative-driven, story-based game examining the relationship between a mother and daughter. It's supposed to be a real tearjerker with great visuals, published by Annapurna Interactive, responsible for such games like The Artful Escape, which I really thoroughly enjoyed. Whether or not it actually tugs on your heartstrings like it's intended to, I'm not sure. I haven't gotten around to playing it, but I am very much looking forward to it, and I'm glad that they're finally putting it in the official Xbox Game Pass releases. Previously, it was not included. They had omitted it for some reason. I thought that was very strange. Crusader Kings 3 is launching on Xbox, and it is coming to Game Pass the same day that it launches. And I feel like this is a big win for Xbox. Crusader Kings is a franchise that reviews very well, and it's typically only available on PC and Windows devices. And I really just think that it's a great move that Xbox is bringing more strategy games to consoles. You know, a lot of people get on Microsoft saying like, oh, they only do Halo Infinite, they only do Gears, they only do shooters, that's the only thing they know how to do. But with Game Pass, they're continuing to diversify their offerings. They have platformers, they have strategy games like Crusader Kings 3 coming out. They have these narrative-based games from Annapurna Interactive as well. So they're continuing to prove by adding games like this that they have a diverse offering to appeal to a large player base, no matter your taste in games. And on March 31st, we are getting Weird West. Now, this is a game that was supposed to come out in January, but it was pushed back until March, but we are getting it day one when it launches for consoles and Steam. This is a game that's being developed by former Arcane members that worked on Dishonored and Prey and games like that. And it's supposed to be like a RPG action Wild West game, but it's not like the Wild West as we know it in our reality. There's a bit of a twist on it. I honestly don't know too much about this game, but looking at the gameplay trailers, watching the developers talk about it, I'm very interested to try it out. So again, pretty strong month for Game Pass, and I feel like they're finishing strong as well. April is just around the corner, as we all know, so hopefully they release what is coming to the service for the month of April. So one of the things I like about Xbox is that they have a wide variety of controllers. Sure, we don't have the fancy DualSense, haptic feedback, whatever, but I feel like Microsoft allows a lot of their player base to customize their controllers in a way that suits their unique needs, their unique style. I feel like they offer a pretty decent amount of customization options in the Xbox Design Lab. Sure, there could be a little bit more features. For example, they do offer rubberized grips, but they only come in one color. They only come in black right now, and that's kind of whack considering that on my 20th anniversary controller, there's a green rubberized grip. So I'm like, I know you got the technology, Xbox, so give me the option to do that in your design lab. I feel like this is a win for Xbox in the situation because they have a lot of different options in terms of licensed controllers. Sure, they have controllers that are officially put out by Microsoft, put out by Xbox as a corporation, but they also have companies like 8-Bit Dough, PowerA, and luckily for us, we are getting more officially licensed controllers because Xbox, in partnership with these other companies, are releasing a whole line of springtime controllers. Now I know what you're gonna say, guys. These controllers are girly, but I think they're pretty clean, like this one over at PowerA. For these PowerA ones, I'm really digging them. The cotton candy blue, the pink lemonade, I'm a big fan of these. And with these controllers, what I think is great about them is that they do come with some pro controller features like the back paddles. They are wired, but the wire for this controller, the PowerA controller, is comically long. It is 10 feet long, so I don't think you'll have a problem if you're playing in your living room or at your desk. I feel like the cable is long enough for you to game comfortably on your couch or wherever. And what's even better is the price. It's $38, so making it one of the most affordable controllers out there. I definitely think that this is worth picking up if you're looking to upgrade your experience and you want an aesthetically pleasing controller. If you are interested in any of these, I have the link down in the description if you want to check them out for yourself. They're available for pre-order right now. I don't know when they ship, but as we all know, sometimes controllers, they sell a little fast, right? So you might as well put your pre-order in now while you still have the chance. Last week, AMD made a pretty exciting announcement saying that they're releasing this new technology for developers to work with that will allow them to boost resolution, to boost frame rates, and that it's coming to Xbox consoles. I'm talking about Fidelity FX Super Resolution 2.0. And I gotta admit, guys, I talked about this a little bit in my last video. I'm not really a graphics guy. If you throw a lot of like technical specs at me, I'll be shaking my head like, yep, sounds interesting, cool. But I'm not really too deep in that world. But basically what it is that this technology allows developers to run at a lot lower resolution, but they provide a better algorithm for upscaling, so it looks like it's running the game at a native 4K. Now, for those who are familiar with it, this is essentially the same thing as NVIDIA's DLSS technology, and it's great that it's coming to consoles because now that developers have access to this, it will definitely go a long way in having games run at a solid 60 frames per second, no dips, especially on the Series S. AMD says that Deathloop is going to be one of the first games to utilize this feature when it comes to the PC, and if it's coming to the PC with that, I can't imagine that when it comes to Xbox consoles, once the timed exclusivity thing is up with PlayStation, that it wouldn't have the same bells and whistles working with the Fidelity FX Super Resolution 2.0. Hopefully this technology kind of heralds the beginning of a new age for Xbox consoles. I feel like a lot of people, especially for the Series S, they give it flack because it's like, there's always a story when a third-party game comes out saying like, oh, the Series S can't run it as well as the Xbox Series X or the PlayStation 5. First of all, duh. Second of all, it's like they blame the Series S because it's like, oh, this technology is too crappy. And then a couple weeks later, they're like, oh, just kidding. We were able to actually get 60 FPS on a game that we were just complaining about it being locked at 30 FPS. Just kidding, guys. So hopefully now that developers have access to this, they'll be able to optimize the games not only for the Series X, but for the Series S as well. If you want to check out how Fidelity FX works in real time, AMD actually uploaded a video to YouTube showcasing the technology using Deathloop as an example. And I gotta say, I was pretty impressed, especially when that game first came out. It was kind of like meh in terms of its performance, so I was like, okay, compared to that, this looks amazing.